Okay. Well, hello, hello. Lynn, it says that we are live. So say hello.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Hope you guys are warm wherever you are.
Yeah, okay. So we were actually just chatting about the weather before we got on because she's like, "You're in shorts." I said, "Well, in a hoodie, but or in a sweatshirt." Now, yeah, it's been great here in Texas today. I actually sat outside for a little bit. It was like 70 degrees, but it will not be this weekend. So yeah, as you guys hop on, I know it's like a super weird weather moment, like everywhere. My daughter called us this morning from Stillwater. All the classes have been canceled because of ice. So yeah, let us know what it's like where you guys are. Um, because I think the only place it's warm is like, Florida. Which is where I just came from. Although Florida was even having like kind of a strange little cold front for them. It was kind of weird. So anyway, yes, so let us know where you're watching from. Tell us about the weather. We're just starting out our Thrive Live talking about the weather. I've got my friend Lynn on tonight, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear her story. Oh, Scott says he's in the kitchen. So he's he's watching from the kitchen. And anyway, I've got Lynn on tonight, and I'm excited for you guys to hear her story. But as we were kind of preparing for tonight, I was like, you know what? Let's like kind of address this whole, you really can have a career and take advantage of this little thriving opportunity that we have because Lynn has figured out all of those ways. And I'm excited for you guys to hear from her. So, Lynn, first of all, before we get started, why don't you just tell everybody, introduce yourself, tell everyone where you are. Typically, we have that Canadian flag showing in that. Where is it? On your wall somewhere. It's like,
There it is.
yeah,
Maybe
there
I
we
just
go.
need to scooch over a little bit so you guys can see my Canadian flag. So you guys all know where I'm from. But yes, my name's Lynn Brown. I'm from Canada. It is freezing cold up here. So cold that the buses are not even going tomorrow for our kiddos in school. They basically are calling it like it's too cold for even the buses to go. So, like Mauria said, I still work full time, but I have created something on the side that has totally changed our life. I work in law enforcement and I'm a wife. I have two girls, one that is like super into softball, the other that is artsy fartsy and loves everything to do with, you know, she's got a hippie kind of vibe to her. I love her free spirit and all that. But yes, we have been with Lavelle for quite a while now, over 6 years, which actually kind of is a little strange to me. But yeah,
when we talk about how long we've been doing this, it's like it hasn't really been that long. But then you look at how much life has happened, and you're like, oh my gosh, it has been that long.
Yes, it definitely. Yeah. So we live up here in Canada where it's cold. We love the outdoors. We love to do things with the kids. Instead of going to Cabo this past weekend, because our Canadian government was not really that favorable of us traveling, we actually went out and bought an RV instead. So yeah, we're just, going to make some different types of memories this summer instead of our normal traveling. But
I love it. I love it. I can't, we have all kinds of we had a camper first that we made a lot of memories in and then transition over to the RV. And actually with you saying that, I'm like, I wonder if that's kind of what we'll be doing more of this summer is actually utilizing the heck out of that. Always up for an adventure though. And there's always things you can do.
Definitely explore. We have so much beautiful things up here in Canada. So
Ooh, yes.
yeah, so we'll take advantage of that. My husband and I also shoot competitive archery. So hopefully that is something that will happen this summer because last summer it wasn't really happening. The kids also participate. So yeah, we have lots of fun doing all those sorts of things. But
I love it. So talk to us a little bit about your Thrive journey. Like, how did you even get involved? I mean, you're in Canada, obviously we're a US based company, but obviously Canada is a huge part of our company, or has grown to be. But talk to us a little bit about that initial draw to saying yes to this, and you're just the beginning of your story.
For sure. Well, it all actually, I have to blame my husband for it. So he was scrolling on Facebook like a 15-year-old girl, and literally came across a friend of his talking about his Thrive experience and just that he had energy. Scott was working like crazy in the oil field back in the day when the oil field was booming. And I was working shift work in law enforcement, and we had 2 little kids. So he heard the word energy, and he was looking for something that could basically get us out of our everyday mundane funk that we were kind of going. We had a Post-it note marriage because he was going one direction, I was going in the other, and it was literally everything written on a Post-it note and past each other in the hallway, and away we went. So for us, it was really the energy that kind of got our attention. Scott woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do our sample. Literally, I did our 1, 2, 3, and I went back to bed. And I obviously did not fall back asleep, but I didn't really think it was going to work. I was not sold on the product. And it was about day 2 or 3, I heard a story, Mauria and Jen Ellis talking about their Thrive experience, talking about what this has allowed them to do. I heard them talk about, there was another person sharing their story and talking about inflammation support. Mauria was talking about running again, and she was talking about, you know, her knees didn't ache anymore. And I knew I needed to get my mom on the product. So I love the fact, I'm a little bit frugal. Some people might call me cheap, but I say frugal. And I love the fact that I could get the product for free. So that for me was number one. I was like, well, you know, if that's an option, we're definitely going to get it for free. But I knew that if I gave it to my mom or told my mom about it, she probably wouldn't do it. She's just skeptical. She had a lot of health challenges. You know, there's a lot of questions that came up with it. But I knew if I put it in her hands, she would take it, because that's just the way my mom is. She would trust me that much, but she probably wouldn't pay for it, right? Just because of everything she had going on. So instead of us hitting, us both referring 2 people and getting our product for free, we hit the promoter button, took those 4 people, and we referred them with qualified orders, and we hit that very first bonus. And that 660 US hit my bank account, and I was like, that's for real? Like, it works out to about $860 Canadian. So I was like, I cannot even believe that's in my bank account. I actually transferred it out of that account because I didn't know if they would take it back. I was like, I was a little skeptical about these things. And, you know, we just continued to share it. So there was 7 of us that started, that all of us were on the product, having a great experience. But I seen what it was doing for my mom, and I seen that magic start to happen, and she got her spark back. And I could not at that point keep my mouth shut about what the product was doing, even though I tried. Even as we got going on the product, we hit our second bonus the second week and actually hit 4K. And in that time, it was the iPad mini bonus. So we hit that our second week. And as we continue just to help people, obviously I didn't want it to be a burden on our budget. And those people that trusted me, I didn't want it to be a burden on their budget either. So that refer to and free and the VIP 800, that was just what we continued to do all month long. And by the end of that first month, we had actually hit that auto bonus. And kind of a funny story, got a phone call from a lady from Texas, wonder who that was, and was like, hey, congratulations, you earned your a Cadillac, Lexus, BMW, Mercedes. You guys, I didn't even know that the auto bonus was for real. I thought it was something that Mauria got because Mauria was further along in her business than I was. So I actually told my husband, and I phoned him up, and he jokingly said, are you drinking? It's a little early to be drinking. If you know Scott, you know he's a little bit of a jokester, but he said something to me that day, and it's something that I share with our team all the time, because he said, things like that don't happen to people like us, Lynn. And it kind of still makes my heart hurt a little bit that our mindset was so broken. And our mindset was the mindset of the people that we were surrounding ourselves with, because everybody else would think the same thing. Things like that don't happen to people like us. There's absolutely no way that in a month you have reached this like this level that they're going to pay and reward you with a car payment, with a luxury car payment. Well, I was driving a Suzuki, ladies and gentlemen. And back in the day when the Laval was brand new in Canada, I chased down the Purolator truck in my Suzuki a number of times because our shipping was a little hard to get to everywhere, right? Especially our rural addresses, those Purolator trucks had no idea where they were going or what they were doing. So we chased down that Purolator truck a time or two in that Suzuki, and I took that $300 payment until we hit 40K 3 months later. So, as we continued to grow, I kind of had to come to the realization that I did have a business in front of me and in my hands. And it was the lifestyle getaway. The first lifestyle getaway I qualified for was New Orleans. And, I had this huge family thing happen for us. My sister had a baby at 26 weeks, and she was not doing well. The baby was doing well. That happened in August. I think our trip was in September. And I had to cancel the trip because my nephew was actually, he was released into my care instead of my sister's care because she was still in the hospital. So we had to cancel that trip. But I remember saying, I never would have been able to take off the time if I didn't have that income. Mm-hmm. And that was really kind of that moment for me, that I knew that if this had happened to us, months before, even a year before, we would not have been able to handle that family emergency. But I was able to say, hey, work, I need to leave. I don't know for how long. I am walking out of the hospital with this preemie baby that weighs like less than 5 pounds at that time of discharge. And my youngest was 4 years old. So that for me was really that realization that the business side of things was something that I was going to go all in on. And I know it was weird. It took me from June till like September before I actually realized that. But, it was something happening in our lives that really kind of made it solidify. And I knew that other people, life happens. Mauria actually has the line that she always says, life happens. Thrive just makes it a little bit easier to handle, right? It doesn't stop things from happening, but makes it a little bit easier to deal with. So yeah, that was sort of our first little bit where we said, okay, this is for real and we're going to go for it. At that point we had hit 40K, and I actually did go out and buy that car that Scott said, things like that.
Don't happen. Okay, y'all, when she says 40K, so that means that her team did $40,000 in online orders in a month's time. So when she hit 12K, when her team achieved $12,000 in sales in a calendar month, that's when she got her auto bonus and hit 12K. And then at 40K is when she finally went and got, so almost 4 times the volume needed for the auto bonus. But remind me, what was your first car?
I bought a used one, Cadillac.
Yes.
SUV. I think they were the SRX is what they were called. Okay. So I took Paul's advice, and he said, don't go out and buy new. Go buy something a couple years old that, you're going to have a little bit of extra left at the end of the $800, which we did because at the time, Scott and I had a lot of debt. And that was probably the biggest thing that we wanted to get rid of was that commercial debt that was kind of over our heads. Scott had an injury. And when you work in the oil field and you have an injury, there's no compensation. You're just not working. Right. So that was still hanging over our heads. And that debt that we had accumulated, I was actually on maternity leave when he got hurt. So, my income was
No,
down.
yeah.
His was gone essentially. So
Mhm.
yeah, we were still recovering from that. So we took that extra money that was left over from our car payment from Lavelle, and we just socked it away onto our debt and was getting rid of that. So
I love that. So what they do, guys, is they give you $800 a month towards one of the cars in our car plan. And we used to just say luxury vehicles and it was only four. But now, like, it's insane. They've added trucks, they added the new Jeep, they've added, I mean, I could spout off the list if I would pull it up, but it's insane. So if your car payment is $500 a month, you're still getting $800, and that's basically what Lynn is saying. Plus, she was getting paid US,
yes,
which makes a big
about
difference too.
1,040 is what my car payment in Canadian dollars is what we get.
1,040 Canadian.
Yeah.
That's just the closest. And it doesn't surprise me. I hear this. I'm trying to pull this up and talk at the same time on a live. I mean, this is just me, right? Okay. Car bonus. I'm pulling it up, but it doesn't surprise me that you said that it was a family event that made you realize the power of the residual business that you already had, and I think I hear that story honestly from a lot of people, because it starts out typically, most people hit the promoter button because it's a no-brainer, because it's free, and you're like, well, I know way more than 4 or 5 people that are tired, exhausted, living on coffee, soda, energy drinks, can't sleep, and are constantly dealing with some kind of inflammation in their body. You know what I mean? Like, typically I don't ever have someone say, oh, I don't know anybody that needs that. You know what I mean? Like, everyone automatically goes, oh my gosh, people need this. And then it's that free click of a button. There's nothing to lose. And so, for a lot of people, it starts out as just this little fun side gig, and you're skeptical, and you know what I mean? And then there's that moment where, and typically it's a life event that makes you go, oh my goodness, like, what I have here is truly something amazing. So talk to us a little bit. Oh, by the way, though, because I have this pulled up, I'm just going to rattle some of these things. So we've got the Audi, BMW, Cadillac, some of the Chevy 1500 trims, some of the Chevy 2500, the Trail Boss, the 3500. These are all the High Country, Silverado. Like, seriously, I'm like going down the whole list. There's so many. The Ford F-350, the Denali. I mean, the Jeep Gladiator, the Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes, Tesla. I mean, I still didn't hit all of them because it starts
No,
boring. I'm hitting
that
all
list is crazy.
the
And
list is crazy. And a lot of people, when they added these vehicles, like, their husband or someone in the family already drove a qualifying vehicle, so they're just automatically, oh well, you get a $500 a month raise. Like, seriously. um and I say $500 a month because basically what they do, if you're bonus qualified, you get $300 a month towards what you currently drive, or $800 a month towards all of these. I need to like copy and paste them in the comments or something. But yeah, good stuff. So talk to us though a little bit about how you've worked this in the nooks and crannies of your days, because you have a good career, you're very established, you love what you do. It's not like Lynn's going, I want to quit my job. Like, that's just really not the conversation. You love your career, and you get to build something like this that pays for the car, takes you on lifestyle getaways, has created so many options for your family. So talk to us a little bit as to, how do you do that? How do you manage your time, and how is it that you're able to work two things at the same time?
for sure. So I think first and foremost, I felt like I was not the normal person. Lots of the people that we were in business with, right, that are doing Lavelle, their goal was to quit their job. Their goal was, to leave corporate America. Their goal was to create full-time families, and that is great. If that's your goal, go for it, because Lavelle is definitely that vehicle that's going to get you there. But for me, I was struggling, and I was struggling with the idea: do I leave my full-time job, and go full-time Lavelle, or can I do it all? And my one of my favorite sayings is like, you can have it all, right? You can really have it all. And that's what Lavelle, and I know Mauria and I had lots of heart to hearts, because she's like, I don't know if you are going to be fulfilled if you go full-time Lavelle. Like, you have to kind of figure that out. And when I made the decision that I was going to do both, then I could be happy doing both. And, that was really probably that moment where I said, okay, we're going all in. Mauria knows what that sound is. She's laughing at me right now, and I'm probably going to get a message from Lori Tate, usually. That's what happens if I'm in the same room with them. But, it was really that decision that I said, I can do it all. And how can I do it all? Well, it was a family decision. You guys will hear from Scott. He said he's in the kitchen. Well, it's true, because he's in the kitchen making supper. And our family, our kids kick in, and they know that if mom works in the nooks and crannies of her day, in the evening, some family time is sacrificed. My kids know at 7:30 in the morning, 7:30 a.m., the music is pumping in my office, because guess what? 7:30 a.m. every single day, we are on a team Zoom, right? And we are training our team. We are helping new people reach their goals. So yeah, it might be a little bit earlier. We might not have noontime Zooms, and we might not be doing those things. It's early morning. Get up and get on there and help your team. And, the coolest thing about it is that, I can steal a little time here and a little time there, and totally still hit all the goals that we have for our family. And, we knocked off our debt. We've knocked off, a full basement renovation. We're kicking off this crazy new renovation. We pay cash for things that we used to go on credit cards. We don't check for our bank account before we head into the grocery store. Like, those things that used to be burdens and weigh on our shoulders don't weigh on our shoulders anymore, because we've created a residual income on the side in the nooks and crannies of our day by helping other people reach their goals as well. And there's some people on my team that have totally, they're full-time thrivers, and that's great. It's awesome for them that they have decided to do that. And it's just, I chose a little bit of a different path, but you know what? I still have all the same benefits of any other Lavelle leader here. I drive my Cadillac Escalade now. Scott just got a brand new vehicle, I don't even know what it is. It's a 3,500 huge truck. It's big. Yeah.
So he'll post his picture in a bit. He'll show.
Yeah, we'll get him to post his new truck. And all these things that people will say, I can't do it because I work, and I can't do it because I have kids, and I can't do it, whatever that why and that reason is, that's really the reason to do it. And that's really the reason, I get to work, and I work in law enforcement, where I get to contribute to my community, and I get to do something that I really truly enjoy with people that I love to work with. And, I get to do that with Lavelle too. So I get to do it all, and I get to be I'll be honest, you guys, before Lavelle, I joke and I say that day one, I got stuff done off of my desk that I literally had sat there for a month. My productivity, I can tell you, I'm a way better employee than I ever was. And I've gotten even raises, and I've gotten new positions, and I've moved up, to a position now that is very sought after. And I work for a police agency that is like the one that everybody wants to work for. So not only has Lavelle and the products helped me physically, but they've also helped me advance my career along to a position. So, even if you're looking at this and you're looking at the Lavelle business, and you see all these leaders that, have quit their full-time jobs and they've created these full-time families, that's cool. It's really amazing. But at the same time, Paul told me a long time ago, until you are, 3 times your income, 4 times your income, for us, right? I'm a type 1 diabetic. That was that sound that Mauria was laughing at. So I jokingly say I keep my full-time job for my health benefits, right? Like, let's be honest, it costs a lot of money as a type 1 diabetic. So, I jokingly say that, but really I do love it. And I think you can have your career and a side time business, like a half-time business or full-time business or whatever you want to put in, you can put into it and create something amazing in a residual income that is going to sustain your family. I know a lot of people over this past year, their plan B, their Lavelle business became their plan A, and they had to shift that, and just having the best of both of them, right? And being able to pick up your business that you've built and run even bigger with it because your career unfortunately was gone, right? So I know there's a lot of those people that we had on our team, and a lot of people I've talked to over the last little bit that have been looking for an additional stream of income because of the uncertainty of our world right now. So yeah.
Right. I love it. Well, and the thing is there's such a difference in your day to day when you can say, I have my job because I want to, not because I have to. You know what I mean? Like, I get to do this because I'm choosing to. And there's just power in that. I mean, there's so much happiness in that. That's why I said not everyone has, especially when when your career, I mean, basically you've found the career path of your calling. Not everyone would be satisfied with leaving that. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, not everyone operates with too much time on their hands. Some of us do much better when there is, a lot on the plate. We operate best in under time constraints, and yeah. So, well, I love it. Are there any closing thoughts that you want to add? Just about your experience or your business, or just, obviously the timing of this company right now is just insane. And I don't know, she kind of mentioned, or she mentioned, just our world right now. What we have seen over the last year has been absolutely, very eye-opening as to the foundation of our company and how fortunate that we are, that we were to have already been a cloud-based company. That we didn't skip a beat when everything shut down. We were able to get products out to people. And obviously, people are looking at their health, they are looking at what they're putting into their body. And obviously, if you're going to be taking your vitamins, why don't you take some vitamins that you can feel, right? If you're going to start making those commitments and those lifestyle changes, to put your health first. We definitely, provided a solution for so many people. And so we actually saw some pretty incredible growth overall, not only here in the U.S. but really across the globe, which is just incredible, because we do truly have an online business, and thank goodness we were all able to stay connected through that online way. Also, like you said, so many people, that their plan B, they had to step that up because plan B was now paying the bills, when plan A fell by the wayside. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I think all of us would say we're so grateful to be in the position that we're in with the own foundation of our own businesses, but to be able to literally have a conversation with someone and look them in the eye and say, you've got to trust me because you need this. And once you get this in your body, you're going to understand why you need this. And then once you understand why you need this, you're going to understand why I'm telling you, you don't have to wait on a stimulus check. We can go make that in 2 weeks, and that's just the reality. We here in the US, people are talking about waiting on this money, waiting on money, waiting on money. I'm like, dude, I got a solution I can show you right here. We're going to get your friends and family feeling like $1 million, and we can have that in your bank account in a couple of weeks. Like, where there is a will, there is a way. And, my confidence certainly, well, my confidence about this business opportunity has kind of been through the roof for years, but just that, hey, you know what? You don't have to wait on someone else to do something for you. There is a solution right here, and we're welcoming people daily with a free business model, and all you have to do is just go all in with what we've got. What do you say when I say go all in, though? Like, how do you define that? People are like,
Well,
what does she mean?
I think, you know, for me, it was really the belief, right? And not necessarily belief in the company. And I think, you know, all the new people that have joined us in the last little bit, we've had quite a few new people joining us and excited about the opportunity, excited about what Lavelle has to offer. And, you know, everything from our operation winning bonuses, just even to what is there every single day for our customers with, you know, a discount and free shakes with just saying yes to your health. You know, the company's constantly pouring into those newest people coming in. But going all in, and, you know, Scott says something, and he was saying it to our team on the weekend on our Zoom. He said, you know, this is basically like, I'm telling you, this is a test. What's at the end of it is amazing, and I'm giving you the answer key to it. You know, that answer key is really, you know, the same thing that Paul has been telling us, you know, and Mauria did the same thing that, you know, he had told Tony, Tony had told Mauria, Mauria had told me, and I tell my team. And, you know, we don't reinvent the wheel. We don't do anything that's like really off the charts, right? This is really a simple solution. And is it going to be a little bit of work? Yes. Are you going to have to make some sacrifices here and there? Yes. But is it worth it? Oh my goodness, it's worth it. And, you know, you just have to get on the product to realize what the product is going to do for you. I don't know about you guys, but I have seen so many people lately talking about, you know, I'm looking to make some extra income. I'm looking to do this. I'm looking at that. You know what? You have to find something you love first and foremost. And you got to look at something that, you know, something like Lavelle that has a proven track record, that is debt free, that is going to be here. This is a legacy company, not a tomorrow company. This is something that's going to be here for our children to inherit and to build on their own. My daughter, who started it, like when we started this business, she was just little, and, you know, they're already like planning out what vehicle they're going to get when they turn 18, right? Because they know that Lavelle will be here and Lavelle will be an option for them, and that they can then take this and show other people that there's different options. Like my kids they think, why do I need a career, right? Lavelle, like, why would I have to go and work for somebody else when I can work for myself? And, you know, it might be a weird dynamic because I work for somebody else, but I also do Lavelle, but I'm giving them the option that they get to decide and they get to choose their future and what their future looks like. So, you know, for anybody out there that's looking at this and thinking, you know, that's really nice, and things like that happen to you and they don't happen to me, I'm here to tell you, not only does it happen to people like you and I, like Mauria and I, but, you know, it happens to everyone. And people might not relate to us because of where we're at right now, but I can tell you, you know, and Mauria will tell you, her, like, you know, we couldn't afford our first month of Thrive either. We were in the exact same spot that lots of you are in right now. And it was just a decision to say that my why is big enough, and my why was my family. My why was getting out of that dogma of, you know, the break-even Browns. That's what we used to call ourselves, because it would be like we get ahead one month and the next month something else would happen. You know, it just, you have to then, all in really for me means that belief. And that comes from surrounding yourself with amazing people. That came from borrowing Mauria's belief. When I didn't believe in myself, she would believe in me. And, you know, now I get to pass it along to other people and believe in them and show them the answers to the test, essentially.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So fun. Well, it's been fun hanging out with you tonight.
Yes, it has been.
Well, I can see that there's still some people hopping on. You guys, if you're catching the replay, let us know that you're watching the replay, and feel free to. I see Randy's commenting in here, and it happened to me. Yeah, I mean, so many blessings. But you guys feel free to share some of the blessings that you've received here. And then, guys, if you're a friend of Lynn and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been watching them, and I don't know if I sometimes I wonder, what is it that holds people back? Are you worried you don't have what it takes? Are you worried, you know, there's not enough time, or you don't know how it would be done, or, you know, whatever it is? I want you to message her and say, okay, Lynn, like, here are the things that are holding me back. help me develop the game plan, because I don't want to keep watching this pass me by. And same for those of you that are watching, that are my friends. You know, I know that we'll probably have some thrivers share this with some of you. Get back with that person that has just been planting seed after seed after seed in your mind, and say, okay, is she really serious? I really do have nothing to lose, because this will continue to grow with or without. You know, more and more people are starting their experience every single day. And the crazy thing I was talking about with our friends this weekend, Lynn, is, you know, I'm now 7 years in. So it's like there's this whole new generation of young people that are coming into the, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you've got a kids, you know, families a decade behind or two, you know, and that's how it's going to be for the next 10 years, the next 20 years. You know, there's going to be continuously just generations of generations that are finding this and discovering this and saying, oh my goodness. And I do truly believe that everyone eventually will have some sort of business that they work from their phone or their computer. It's just, I'm going to say from their phone. Does anybody ever work from the computer anyway? I mean, my computer is right here, but um, everything's done from the phone. I'm an on the go mom, and the phone is always with me. So thank you so much for sharing tonight. Thank you guys for hopping on. Everybody tell Lynn thank you, and we'll hop off. Bye guys. Have a good night.